Hello everyone. So this is the first video on automatic drums editing, and we're going to start with Beat Detective, and then there's another video on Elastic Audio. Before we start with this, I just want to make clear that automatic drums editing is not something that you're going to use for every genre, and you're not going to use it every time. But it can save you a lot of time if your drums pattern is very straightforward in a pop song, for example. But it's not something that you're going to use for jazz, especially like very elaborate jazz that has a lot of variation and things like that. So just remember to use very good judgment before you use Beat Detective or Elastic Audio on a certain track, because it can really suck the life out of a recording if you don't use it carefully. But without further ado, I'm going to demonstrate Beat Detective. So I'm going to start with importing some drums tracks, right? Make sure to copy and not add. I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to create new tracks. I'm going to go ahead and create a click track. That's always important when you're editing. Now, before we do any editing whatsoever, we need to follow certain safety steps. The first one is to find the right tempo. The second one is have the right order of tracks that is gonna make the editing easier. The third one is to create an edit group, and then finally you're gonna create a new playlist so that in case you make any mistakes, you can always go back to the original playlist. So let's start with finding the right tempo. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this back. My session is originally 120, so let's see if the click matches up. So obviously it doesn't. The tempo of the drumming is not 120, so we need to find the right tempo. So in order to find a tempo, I'm gonna mute the click track, play back, double click the red arrow, and I'm gonna press the letter T along with the drumming. All right. So it seems to be 168, but let's double check. So again, let's just listen to it in the beginning with the click track. Let's listen in the end. So it's not 168. It's probably 166. Let's check at the end. It seems like everything is aligned. Let's see. All right. So we just checked our first checkbox, which is tempo. The next one is order of tracks. So usually, as you know, the drummer plays the kick, snare, and hi-hat the most. So we need to edit our drums based on those three elements mainly. So kick, snare top, snare bottom, hi-hat, tom one, floor tom. There's a ride cymbal track, and then the room left and room R. There you go. So now that we have the drums in order, we can create a group. All right, so I'm just gonna select the first track, hold Shift, select the last one, press Command G to create a group. Then I'm gonna make it an edit group. So drums, and hit OK. All right, and the next step is create a new playlist. So just click on this drop-down menu, go to duplicate. Alternatively, I can use the shortcut Control-Command-Backslash to duplicate the playlist. And then just gonna rename them. So select all of them, batch rename, and then I'm gonna find 0.02, which is this suffix here. And I'm gonna replace it by space E. hit OK. And there you go. So now I have my original playlist and then my edited playlist. And now I'm ready to start editing.